Franky Zapata, a former jet skiing champion, took off successfully from Sangatte in northern France, but then fell into the channel during a mid-sea refueling stop. Zapata had planned to land in the Dover area after a flight of just 20 minutes, but let's find out why it didn't go quite according to plan. Our correspondent Duncan Kennedy is in St Margaret's Bay near Dover, close to where Franky was expected to land. So what exactly happened then, Duncan?
Well, it was all going so well, Anita. You're absolutely right. He was taking off from Sangatte in this thing they call a flying board. This 40-year-old French flamboyant inventor, Franky Zapata, he's got these 5 motors on board this thing. The takeoff was absolutely perfect. He even got 18 kilometres, what's that, 12 miles out across the channel, where he was due to refuel. The original plan was that he would refuel whilst floating on this flying board. But there was a bit of a mix-up with the French authorities. They didn't want him to do that. So the plan B was for him to land on board a boat mid-channel and refuel for 30 seconds. And it was during that manoeuvre that it all went wrong. It seems as though, I've spoken to his team, it seems as though there was some sort of disconnect between the wave and him landing. Anyway, there was a bit of disjoint there, and he ended up in the channel with this thing on board him. He was okay, they got him back on board the boat, but by that point, because this machine, this flying board, is so complicated, full of electronics, he couldn't carry on his journey. So the team here, and no doubt Franky himself, are absolutely crestfallen because they wanted to achieve this today, because it's the exact 110th anniversary that Louis Blériot made the first solo flight across the channel, and they wanted to coincide their flight with his flight. Sadly, it wasn't to be.
Oh, I mean, it looks spectacular, and, you know, he looks like some kind of Avengers superhero flying across the sea there, doesn't he? But, you know, will he try again?
Definitely. It won't be tomorrow. He's got to go back to his workshop in Marseille and get all the salt water out and start again. He's only got one of this type of prototype. He's got others that are similar, but only one of this that he's developing for the French military to see if there's some kind of French military application for this device. He tested it over the Champs-Élysées and the Place de la Concorde during Bastille Day a couple of weeks ago, and it went really well. He also tested it on a boat in Florida, and he landed there well. It's just today he mistimed it all by a couple of meters or so, ended up in the drink. He's okay. The project knocked off track a little bit, but they say they will get going again, perhaps in the next few days or weeks.
OK, Duncan, thank you very much for that. Duncan Kennedy there in Dover. The White Cliffs looking rather splendid in the sunshine, and a few early beachgoers there behind Duncan. So on that note, let's take a look